Some people believe we are in Satan's little season right now. That means they are saying the second coming already happened. They are saying Jesus Christ already reigned on the earth for 1,000 years. And they are saying Satan has now been released. But if that is true, then the sequence has to work. And it doesn't. Revelation 20 gives the order. First, Satan is bound. Then Christ reigns for 1,000 years. Then Satan is released for a short time. So if we are in Satan's little season right now, then the 1,000-year reign already happened. And that is the first problem. Where is it? Where is the 1,000-year reign of Christ in history? Where is the kingdom? Where is the global rule? Where is the record of Jesus reigning over the nations from Jerusalem? Because if Christ already ruled the earth for 1,000 years, that would not be hidden. That would be the most important period in human history. Jerusalem has always existed. Jerusalem has always been ruled by earthly kingdoms. But where is the 1,000-year reign of Christ? It is not there. And immediately after that comes the next problem. Revelation 20 verse 3 says Satan is released for a short time. A short time. So if the 1,000 years already happened and Satan was released after that, then this so-called short season has now lasted over 1,000 years. That is not a short time. That is longer than the reign itself. The Bible calls it a short time. This theory stretches it into over 1,000 years. That is not interpretation. That is completely rewriting the timeline. And then there is the second coming itself. Revelation 1 verse 7 says, every eye will see him. Every eye. Not a few. Not a secret group. Not a hidden generation. Every eye will see him. So when did that happen? Because that has never happened. And this is where people bring up the verse they always use. Matthew 16 verse 28. Jesus said, some standing here will not taste death until they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom. They use that verse to say Jesus already came back. But keep reading. Matthew 17 explains it. Jesus takes Peter, James, and John up a high mountain, and he is transfigured before them. They saw him in his glory. So yes, some did see him. That happened. That verse was fulfilled. But that is not the same thing as Revelation saying, every eye will see him. Some saw him in glory, but every eye has not seen his return. Those are not the same event. And if the second coming already happened, then the physical signs tied to these events should also be there. Zechariah 14 verse 4 says, his feet will stand on the Mount of Olives, and the Mount of Olives will split in two from east to west. So where is it? If that already happened, people would still be visiting it today. It would be the most popular split mountain on earth. Every map would show it. Every documentary would mention it. Every history book would talk about it. But it's not there. The Mount of Olives is still there today. Revelation 8 verse 7 says, "A third of the earth was burned up, and a third of the trees were burned up." So where is that in history? Not a city, not a region, a third of the earth. If a third of the earth burned up, civilization would have been shattered. Entire forests gone. Entire ecosystems collapsed. The historical record would be unmistakable, but it is not there. Revelation 6 said the stars fell from heaven, and the sky departed like a scroll when it is rolled together. So where is that? If the sky rolled back and the stars fell, every civilization on earth would have recorded it. That would be the biggest event in human history, but it is not there. The same chapter says every mountain and island were moved out of their places. So where did they go? If every mountain and island moved, the world map would be different today. Coastlines would be changed. Geography would not look the same. But it does. It is not there. And if people still want to push the timeline forward, then they run into the final judgment. Because the little season does not go on forever. Revelation 20 says Satan is released. He deceives the nations. There is a final rebellion. Then comes judgment. Not another 1,000 years of normal history. Not a long stretched out age of confusion. It goes to the end. Revelation 20 verses 11 through 15 shows the great white throne judgment. The dead stand before God. The books are opened. Everyone is judged. Death and hell are cast into the lake of fire. So where is that? When did every person stand before God? When did death get thrown down? Because Revelation 21 says there will be no more death, no more sorrow, no more crying, no more pain. Has that happened? No. People are still dying. Pain is still here. Sorrow is still here. So the final judgment has not happened. And if the final judgment has not happened, then the little season has not already run its course either. This is the problem with the whole theory. To believe we are in Satan's little season right now, you have to move everything into the past. The tribulation, the second coming, the 1,000-year reign, the release of Satan, and the final rebellion. And then somehow, you still have to explain why the final judgment is not here. You have to say the biggest events in human history already happened, but left no clear trace. You have to say Jesus reigned for 1,000 years, but history has no record of it. You have to say Satan was released for a short time, but that short time has lasted over 1,000 years. You have to say every eye saw him when every eye clearly has not. You have to say the Mount of Olives split when it did not. You have to say a third of the earth burned when it did not. You have to say the stars fell and the sky rolled back when it did not. You have to say every mountain and island moved when they did not. And then you still have to explain why death is still here if judgment already came. That is why it does not work. It does not work biblically. It does not work historically. It does not work logically. The sequence breaks. The evidence is not there. The world-ending events are not there. The final judgment is not there. And if it is not there, then it did not happen already. So no, we are not in Satan's little season. Because if it were, the 1,000-year reign would already be behind us. The second coming would already be behind us. The judgments would already be behind us. And the final judgment would already be here. But none of that is true. If every eye did not see him, then he has not returned. If the 1,000 years did not happen, then we are not in the little season. If the final judgment has not happened, then this timeline has not been completed. The problem is not hidden truth. The problem is, it is not there. This is all who thirst. Amen.